Do you struggle to concentrate even when you know it's important? Today, we're going to break down the neuroscience of the flow state so you can activate instant superproductivity without the effort. Forget about willpower, we're going to optimize your brain chemistry. If you're ready to master your focus today, comment the phrase below, total flow. Let's begin. Deconstructing the flow state. First, we need to tear down a dangerous myth. We live in a society obsessed with hustle culture. We've been taught that to be productive, we must be suffering, exhausted, and busy 24/7. But neuroscience tells us otherwise. Burnout destroys executive function. The true holy grail isn't agonizing effort, it's flow. But what exactly is it on a biological level? It's not magic, it's brain mechanics. When you enter a flow state, a phenomenon called transient hypofrontality occurs. Basically, your brain's prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for your critical inner voice, your doubts, and your perception of time, temporarily shuts down. You stop doubting yourself and become pure action. In this state, your brain releases a very specific and potent neurochemical cocktail. First, norepinephrine for concentration. It's what keeps you locked onto the goal. Next, dopamine, which gives you that sense of excitement and reward for your progress. Anandamide also kicks in, promoting lateral and creative thinking, along with endorphins, which suppress physical discomfort. This is why flow feels so good. It is the state in which human cognition functions at its maximum capacity with the lowest perceived energy expenditure. While forced work drains your mental battery, flow seems to recharge it, allowing you to achieve in 2 hours what takes others 8. Instant flow triggers. Hacking your neurochemistry. Now that we understand the theory, let's move to the practice. How do we force this state? You can't just sit down and wait for inspiration to arrive. You have to design it. Here are the quick start protocols. First, let's talk about priming or pre-work preparation. Your brain operates at different wave frequencies. Stress and daily life keep us in high beta waves, which are chaotic. For deep work, we want to drop down to alpha waves, alert relaxation, or even theta, deep creativity. The fastest hack for this is binaural beat. Before starting your session, listen to audio tracks designed to entrain your brainwaves into the alpha range for 5 to 10 minutes. We've left a link to our alpha sound below. After watching this video, go there to listen. This acts as a reset switch for your nervous system, signaling that it's time to switch modes. Second, we need neurochemical pushes. Most people try to work with a dehydrated brain. The brain is 75% water and needs electrolytes to transmit electrical signals. Before your deep work session, drink half a liter of water with a pinch of sea salt or electrolyte. The difference in mental clarity is immediate. Additionally, use light strategically. Exposure to bright blue light or direct sunlight releases cortisol and wakes you up. Use it at the start. But if you want hyperfocus, consider reducing ambient light to minimize peripheral visual distraction. And let's talk about smart supplementation. A classic and safe combination for most is L-theanine paired with caffeine. Caffeine provides the alertness, the norepinephrine, while L-theanine smooths out the jitters and promotes alpha wave. It's the perfect combo for alert calm. Of course, always consult a professional before changing your diet, but keep in mind that nutrition is fuel for your focus. Finally, implement tactical sensory deprivation. You don't need an isolation tank. Simply use noise-canceling headphones and put your phone in another room. By eliminating unnecessary sensory inputs, you free up processing power in your brain to dedicate entirely to the task at hand. Before we move on to how to sustain this energy level for longer, if these protocols are helping you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll ensure you don't miss any updates on biohacking and high performance. Sustaining the wave of superproductivity. Entering flow is one thing, staying there is another. This is where most novice biohackers fail. The first pillar of sustaining flow is environmental engineering. Your work environment must have zero cognitive load. What does this mean? It means every object on your desk that isn't necessary for the current task is an open tab in your brain consuming energy. Clear your space. A visually quiet space equals a quiet mind. The second pillar is energy management, not time management. You're probably familiar with the 25-minute Pomodoro technique. For real deep work, that's usually too short. I propose the Pomodoro Plus protocol based on ultradian rhythms. Our brains have natural focus cycles of approximately 90 minutes. Try to work in uninterrupted blocks of 60 to 90 minutes. But here's the key. When you take a break, do not check social media. The infinite scroll floods your brain with cheap dopamine and breaks the flow state. Instead, use the break for neurochemical replenishment. Look into the distance out a window. To relax your eyes, do 10 squats to pump blood, or simply close your eyes and breathe. This allows your neurotransmitter levels to refill for the next block. And very importantly, conscious transitions. When you finish a complex task, don't immediately jump to answering emails. Take 2 minutes to mentally close the loop. Write down where you left off and what comes next. This prevents what we call attention residue, which is when part of your brain keeps thinking about the previous task while you're trying to start the new one. Advanced flow mastery. For those who want to take this to the executive level, let's talk about advanced strategies. Let's discuss cognitive stacking. This involves combining several flow triggers simultaneously for high-complexity projects. For example, you combine intermittent fasting, which increases mental clarity and orexin, with binaural beats, a cool room temperature, and an artificially short deadline, Parkinson's law. By stacking these positive stressors, you force the brain into a focused survival state where distraction is impossible. We also have the integration of biofeedback and technology. Nowadays, smartwatches and tracking rings can measure your HRV heart rate variability. A high HRV indicates that your nervous system is ready for performance. If your HRV is low, perhaps that day should be dedicated to administrative tasks rather than deep creative work. Using real data allows you to customize your schedule according to your biology, not the clock. And the most powerful part, neuroplasticity through flow. The more you enter this state, the easier it becomes. It's like a muscle. At first, it requires rituals and effort, but with constant repetition, you are myelinating those neural pathways. Over time, your executive function, your ability to plan, focus, and execute, becomes permanently more robust, not just when you're working. You become a more capable person in every aspect. Attracting abundance, flow as a lifestyle. To close, I want you to understand why this is crucial for attracting abundance into your life. Money, success, and opportunities don't follow blind effort, they follow value. And in today's economy, value is created through scarcity. Deep work, high-level creativity, and complex problem-solving are scarce skills. When you master the biohacking of flow, you move from busy work to inspired action. The quality of your output increases exponentially. You create in 4 hours what takes your competition 4 days. This excellence inevitably attracts attention, resources, and financial opportunities. It is the domino effect of flow. Furthermore, when you finish your workday having been in flow, you don't end up drained. You end up satisfied. This improves your mood, your relationships, and your overall well-being. You stop living for the weekend and start enjoying the building process. Making flow a lifestyle means protecting your attention as the most valuable asset you have. It means saying no to trivial distractions to say yes to your maximum potential. The flow state isn't an accident. It's a skill you can design. Apply one of these protocols tomorrow and tell me your result. If this video brought you value, give it a like and share it with someone who needs a boost in their work. And to keep optimizing your brain, click on one of the videos suggested below. See you in the next one.